What you're hearing is Hardie Fiber Cement Siding living up to its reputation as the siding that helps resist weather damage, no matter what Mother Nature throws its way. James Hardie knows how important a reputation is, especially when you're a home builder. That's why Hardie products withstand the elements better than wood-based siding, with styles to match their strength. Because when home builders work with us, we deliver our best so they can look their best. Protect your reputation with exterior products by James Hardie.
You tell them about taxes, they'll worry about it at tax time. You tell them about bills, when it's due, they'll pay it. You tell them about pop-up costs. When they need it, they'll get it. Until then, they earn and spend accordingly. If this is you, there's trouble ahead.
They say there's no good news.
There's no good news.
Entitlement. Entitlement comes in many forms, but the type of entitlement that we're here to address is financial entitlement. A lot of people can't grasp that what you make does not guarantee how you're gonna live. People fall into the trap of believing that a certain income entitles them to a certain lifestyle. That's a pleasant thought, but it's the wrong answer. As a freelancer, you have to rein in that type of financial entitlement. If you don't, best case scenario is you're going to suffer some type of hardship. Worst case scenario is that it ruins you. Making $50,000 or $150,000 doesn't mean you have $50,000 or $150,000 to spend. Like other businesses, freelancers have to understand that the top line number, the amount of money that is coming in, that's revenue. And there's a big difference between revenue and personal income. When a lot of freelancers start out, receiving everything you make, which is revenue, and being responsible for your own deductions, is a foreign concept. So they look at money coming in versus what they want to spend it on, and they adopt this pay it as it comes mindset. Some people operate this way well past the point of being new to the game. But either way, whether you're new or whether you're not, there are consequences to operating that way. One reason that you need to realize that revenue is not income real fast is because of taxes. Now, taxes, it's not a sexy subject. Taxes do not turn anybody on, but it's certainly not a sexy subject when you get into tax trouble. A portion of your revenue is essentially pass-through funds. You're not collecting it to keep. You're collecting it to send to the government, whether that's state, whether it's local, whether it's federal. For some people, it's all three. And although you're responsible for handling tax money, you have to understand it doesn't belong to you. Which is why with a job, it's taken before you touch it. Jobs take taxes from employees before the employees are paid to save those people from themselves. When jobs take tax money up front, it eliminates that temptation to spend it now and to try to repay it later. Otherwise, that's a mistake that a lot of people will make. But as a freelancer, there's no one paid to babysit on payday. When the money's coming in, you have to recognize that a portion of it is tax money. Now, as a general rule for Americans, the less responsibility you have, meaning you have no children, you have no house, the more taxes you're going to owe. Depending on where you live, over a third of your revenue could be tax money. So think of it like having 35 cents deducted out of every dollar you make. People don't realize how big tax bills can be, but it's more money than a lot of people can afford last minute. So people who view tax money as their money, they tend to end up with big tax bills for tax debt. And those tax bills, they rack up penalties, they rack up interest, and start creating bigger and bigger bills. Federal tax debt swells fast. Now, you may doubt it till you've done it, but getting indebted for back taxes is a hole that can bury you. Some people will say fuck it, and they just won't file when they realize that they owe. And you may be able to get away with that, maybe, for some time. But again, you may doubt it, but sooner or later, not filing taxes comes with its own list of issues. It's just better to concede that a portion of your revenue is tax money. Another reason that you can't look at what you make as what you have to spend is business expenses. A lot of business expenses seem small. You have a few dollars a month for this software subscription, a few dollars a month for cloud storage, you have money for gas. Then there's bigger expenses. You may have internet, equipment rentals, your phone bill, work that you outsource to other freelancers, office space, whatever. Freelancers are often sold on the idea of low startup costs. And yes, it's possible to start a freelance business with little money, but starting and running a business are two different things. The reality is businesses have bills. And the longer that you're in business, the more that you're going to find that your business is going to acquire bills. Business bills or business expenses come with growth. It's just part of the game. And on top of those bills or expenses, another portion of your revenue needs to go toward future business expenditures, like replacing and upgrading and adding new equipment. A lot of people come up on a pop-up expense like the computer that just crashed or the camera that you just dropped, and they're unprepared. So you've been living hand to mouth, you don't have any extra money, and now your business has needs. So when your business has needs and you don't have any money, that presents a choice. The options are to spend days without working or to make a bad financial decision, like getting a Best Buy credit card with a 27% interest rate to pay for a new piece of equipment that you could have just saved up for. When you already don't track your business costs, and then you add new ones, like that Best Buy credit card payment, which sounds so affordable. That's how your expenses can start to choke you without you understanding why. Adding expenses adds up. So you already have multiple small expenses, some big expenses. The money's coming in, you're paying them, but when you need something else, you just add it on. You figure you can afford it. You don't know exactly how much your expenses are, but a $60 or $70 a month payment on a Best Buy credit card for a computer, it sounds affordable. And then you need something else, a camera, another piece of equipment. It's $20, $30, $40 a month. Sounds affordable. You add that on too. Who can't pay $20 or $30 or $40? For freelancers, this is bad business, and especially since our revenue is often very volatile. Overall, in a year, yes, you may make the money. The question is, will you make it when you need it? The answer is, you never know, which is why it's critical to have a stash for your business. So a significant chunk of your revenue, it came in and it flowed out in different directions. After your taxes, after your business costs, after your future business costs, you finally whittle down your revenue to your net income. So you're in a place where a large portion of your money is already gone, and you haven't even paid the first household expense or any personal debt yet. This is another reason that financial entitlement does not work. A lot of people think about the amount they have first, and they think about their circumstances second, if ever. The fact that you gross $80,000 doesn't mean that you'll get to live what you believe an $80,000 lifestyle looks like. It doesn't mean that you'll get to live the lifestyle of what an $80,000 income qualifies you for credit-wise. For example, if you earn $80,000 and you're in a location where the cost of living is high, and you have a child, and you've amassed a lot of debt, you can't just decide what your life should look like based on your income. You have to take into consideration your situation and the reality of what living on $80,000 looks like for you may be far less glamorous than someone who has different circumstances from you. If me and you make the same amount of money and you're married and I'm single, a lot of the things that you can comfortably afford, going to the salon every 2 weeks, getting your nails done, wearing designer, eating out, I may not be able to comfortably afford those things, if I can afford them at all, even though we make the same amount of money, because I can't look at how much money we make. I have to look at my circumstances, which are that in that case, I'm solo. There's one account that all the bills come from, and it's mine. Whereas in your case, you have a partner. A major problem is that too many people are out here living under the influence of other people's lives. They look around, they see somebody with something, they see somebody doing something, and they think once they get the money or the means to pay for it, they're entitled to have it too. Life, especially when you're running a business, is not see, pay, have. That's not how that works. Stop being intoxicated by people's lifestyles or what you think is another person's lifestyle. A lot of people have stuff and have nothing at the same time. A lot of people do things. They're going out, they're traveling, but they don't really own anything. They don't have any savings. And you can believe the smiles and the giggles and the captions if you want to, but there are a lot of people that you think that have a lot of money, and some of them do have a lot relative to you or me, but they are under immense financial strain because what they have is mismanaged. They looked at the numbers, they decided what they should be able to have instead of sitting down and crunching the numbers and determining what they can afford. A lot of people, especially freelancers, people who have all of the money that they earn coming their way, a lot of people earn to spend. There are some people, probably some of you listening right now, that are spending money in your mind that you haven't even earned yet. You've got to break that habit. You've got to stop being driven by your wants and by what you see. You have to sit down, manage your finances, and determine what you can afford to have. The fact is that no serious, solid business operates without accounting. Freelancers can't expect to either. A business cannot remain solid and sound without financial management. It just can't happen. Actually, a household isn't going to be solid and sound without proper financial management. And it doesn't matter how much you make, because the more the numbers go up, the bigger the problems that you're likely to create if you don't manage your money. The bottom line is there's no level of revenue where you can look at what's coming in and determine what you have to spend. If you do, you're guaranteed to run into a financial crisis. It may not come immediately, but it will come, whether it's in the form of a big tax bill, a garnishment, some business expense you can't cover. If you suffer from financial entitlement, you will suffer.
If you enjoyed this podcast and you would like to show some love, you can find the Cash App and PayPal details wherever you clicked into this podcast. And if you would like to show your love in another form, please subscribe and share. As always, any and everything is appreciated. Till next time.